Welcome back to Twisted Stitches. How is everybody doing? Today is Friday, June 26, 2020. I know because I checked before I started this time, so I don't have to leave it down here. Aren't you proud of me? So, how has everybody's week gone so far? I hope pretty good. So, if you're here for the first time, I do podcast style show and tell kind of type thing, where I show my makes and I explain some of the patterns and some of the different things going on. I talk a little bit about life updates, and I also kind of keep you up to date with what will be coming up in the future. And kind of, this really gives me like a video, I would say a video diary that is kind of making me stick to a schedule. Does that make sense? This is really great. This is a great platform for someone who, I've never been a journalist or a journaler. I've never been real good at keeping a diary. My grandmother, God love her, she wrote in her little diary journal every single night. I mean, she always wrote down her thoughts and what she was going to do. I am terrible with that. I like to write, but I don't like to write down my thoughts, feelings, and what I'm going to do. I do jot down notes for my podcasts. Sometimes, even though jot down notes, I totally mess up and don't remember anything I was going to say until I shut off the camera and go, oh, I was going to say that. Why did I not remember to say that? Or did I explain that quite exactly the way I wanted to? Probably not. This is a podcast about the fibery arts and all yummy yarnness and all that kind of stuff. And I crochet and I'm new to knitting. So if you're here for the first time, hi, welcome. If you would, consider subscribing to my channel and clicking that bell and hitting the all notifications so you're notified every time I upload. I upload on Fridays podcast style, and Tuesdays I've been doing a new thing for the last couple of weeks called Tuesday Talks with Tips, Tricks, and Tutorials, which is just, I did a tutorial this last week. See, here it is. Did the headband tutorial. I made this little guy. I mean, nothing fancy. It's very beginner friendly, crochet beginner friendly. So if you're new here and you're seeing this for the first time and you're like, oh, what is she talking about? If you go into, I don't have a playlist yet. I will start making a playlist and I'll put tutorials because I am going to be doing more tutorials. I just jumped subject, didn't I? So if you go and look at my videos, this past Tuesday, which today's the 26th, 25, 24, the 23rd, there will be this tutorial to how to make this cute little headband. It's just, I'm calling it USA Hooray headband or Hooray USA headband. Just a cute little, like I said, beginner-friendly crochet headband that you can do. So I remembered everything I was going to say. Well, kind of remembered everything I was going to say. So I took the headband off because I wanted to show you a couple of things about the headband when I do my show and tell portion, my finished objects and my whips and things like that. Today is Friday, like I said, and I had to turn on the light. It's Friday afternoon here in Florida, and I had to turn on the light. Now, the sun is just starting to peek out a little bit, but I think maybe, yay, we're going to get some rain. I hope so. It has been hot and humid here in Florida. And usually the way Florida works in the summertime, anybody who's been in Florida in the summertime knows, you get your 1 hour or 2 hour showers that usually start to kick in, and it starts getting cloudy 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes it'll rain right after, or you start to get the thunder boomers and it rains till maybe 6:30 or so, and then it kind of cools down that afternoon death-defying heat that we get. But we haven't had any rain. We have not had any rain. Yesterday, on the way home from taking Tom to the doctor's, there was some spots that it hit sprinkles and it just made it more muggy. Oh, it was horrible. And it was like a little bit of rain, a little bit of sprinkles, then hot, sunny, then muggy, and it's been crazy. So what's kind of been going on, I figure I'll update you a little bit, because you're probably like, when you see, I don't have a ton to show you, so we will move hopefully pretty quick. I know. blah, 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 too much. So let me start by saying this week I thought I was going to have a lot more time to work on. I have a few things I'm working on. The gingham blanket, the purple one that I told you about. I've been working on hats for Hat Not Hate. I have Tom's knitted hat on the needles, which I haven't touched, so we ain't even going to go there. We're not even, that's the last of the knitted hat you're going to hear until I tell you about how I plan on maybe making that happen in the next week or so. Maybe. And I'm working on a little bit of behind the scenes background charity work. So with the charity work, it's just to help somebody out, so I can't really do show and tell with that. So I always want to keep this, safe for work and safe for if you're listening to it around your children or grandchildren. So I tried to never let out a curse word, okay? So last Friday when I was talking, I know I had a little bit of a, so we're just going to say I had a little bit of a female dog fest for a little tiny bit. Because I was talking to you about how I got this. I paid for this, what was supposed to be a magazine. Now, just to clarify, nobody said anything, but I thought about it after I recorded and uploaded it and sent it to you guys. That I was thinking, after I was watching it, rewatching it, I realized maybe it sounded like I was being witchy because of the magazine wasn't all that what I expected. I didn't really have a problem with that because the magazine or this pamphlet was only $2.99. I got 5 patterns. I've read it. I think I can do every single pattern without any problem at all. This pattern right here, as a matter of fact, is the next blanket I will be working on that I was hired to do. So this one is going to be the next one I'll be showing when I'm done with the gingham. Stop jumping all over, Tammie. One thing at a time. So what I was really upset about was that I spent, I don't remember if it was $5.99 or $6.99. I didn't look it up because it's neither here nor there. It was quite a bit of money for shipping. And when I say the shipping, what bothered me was, in my eyes, and correct me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section, because in my eyes, this is no heavier than one of those, like, Hallmark musical cards that you have to just put, like, a couple extra stamps on for postage. And because it's a nice laminated style, it's not even a magazine, it's like pamphlet leaflets inside, and it's nice and thick like cardstock cardboard, laminated, nice and shiny. So I don't think there would have been a problem with sending it. See, this was the envelope, the second envelope that I opened, and this is the size of my hand. See what I'm talking about for the size? Why couldn't it just come in this and maybe charged me $2 for shipping instead of $6 for shipping? That was my complaint. So I'm hoping, even though nobody said anything and nobody said I was being harsh or anything, this is what I was complaining about. Not the fact that the magazine, what I paid for the pamphlet with the patterns. I'm happy with the patterns. I was upset that I paid that much for shipping for something that I feel probably could have thrown $1.50 max, I would think, would have cost to ship this. That was why I was upset. I feel like somehow they ripped me off for shipping and handling, and I don't quite understand that. But if you are someone who does business type work and you ship out things like this and you're like, Tammie, you're not getting it, it does cost $5.99 or $6.99 to send something like this through the mail, just let me know so I'm informed, because that was why I was kind of cranky last week about this. So I hope that clears it up. I wanted to just verify that and put it out there so y'all don't think I'm usually not that kind of a person. I'm usually as cheerful as I can be, and I usually try to keep things very upbeat. Even in bad situations, I try to make it upbeat and try to twist it around and make a funny, humorous spin on things. That's me. If you don't laugh, you'll cry, so you might as well laugh, because we're only in this one time. That's it. So let's have fun while we're here. Some other things that have been going on this week. Like I said, I thought this week I was going to have a lot more time to just literally work on my projects that I needed to complete. But Tom unexpectedly got called from wound care, and they said, you need to come in this week. And then our doctor who said, you need to come in this week. And so this is how my week spanned out. I thought I was going to have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday to work, pretty exclusively on the stuff that needed to get done. And I was really excited because I thought I was going to be able to complete the purple gingham blanket, but it didn't work out that way. So what happened was, after I filmed and uploaded on Friday, Saturday I went and I watched my grandbaby, and I don't really bring stuff with me because when she goes down for a nap, I'm a little bit tired and I have like a cup of tea and I relax and just veg out for a little bit because she keeps grandma busy, She's 19 months and I try to, play with her as much as I can and keep her busy, and, she needs a lot of attention, and it's good attention. I'll eat it up. So I don't really take anything with me for that. So, because when she finally lays down for sleep or whatever, I just relax and vegetate. I don't think about anything else. So I didn't bring anything with me Saturday. Sunday I slept in a little bit because I was very tired. And I did work a little bit on some things, but we did have to go to the store. No big deal. Okay. So Monday rolled around and I said, I wanted to start filming this. Now, funny thing about this only takes, 2 hours at best. I think I finished this in just a little over an hour total time. That was everything I needed to do. And so I was like, the filming shouldn't take me that long. Well, I can tell you this, hats off to you tutorial people, because it surely opened my eyes. I knew there was going to be more work and I knew it was going to take longer. I just did not realize that something that can take you maybe an hour to complete without filming it literally took me 4.5 hours to do the filming part. On Monday, I did my prototype, this headband. And then Tuesday morning, I woke up and I started setting things up to do the filming. And I thought, if I start the filming at 11 in the morning, I should be done filming no later than 4. I gave myself plenty of time, but by the time you set everything up and get your lighting and all that stuff, and then you fumble around, especially I'm new to the tutorial thing. I fumbled so many times, I didn't have my hands in the right spot, and then I realized that maybe I was rambling too much, like I always do. So forgive me for my first tutorial. Hopefully, like everything with practice and just doing it, it will get better. I'll get a little smoother and it won't take as long. Hopefully, let's cross our fingers on that one. So this is some of my finished objects. This was my headband. This one here is a little bit wider because I started off with chaining 13 and working a total of 12 half double crochets back and forth, because you work back and forth this way and you carry up yarn. And then I said, when I put it on, it seemed like it folded a little too much towards the back of my head. So I decided to make it I chained 11 and I made a total of 10 half double crochets to make the tutorial. I also realized that I needed to capture the yarn. I haven't done that in a really long time. I haven't carried up yarn in a project in a very long time. So I will show you this. I'm hoping this might kind of, show you or explain to you why you may want to capture your yarn when you're changing colors and not, clipping and then restarting up new yarn and you're just, that kind of thing. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. So this was the first one I did. And can you see here? This is the yarn that I was carrying up. But see how it's right here along the side. It's pretty visible there. You can see where I carried up the yarn. I pulled it out so I can overemphasize it and show you. But of course, it can be something that catches, on a project. So when I did this, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta capture the yarn. I forgot about that. So it was a good thing that I did do the prototype, because that kind of opened my eyes as to what I did and didn't want to show you guys as a tutorial. Plus, I messed around a little bit with doing the embroidery stars versus when I made the star. I don't remember in the tutorial I showed you the made star. I clipped it away because I am going to fix this up a little bit, and I may even put a border on it and use this. So I am going to put some more stars on this one. This is the thicker headband. So on this one, like I said, I didn't capture the yarn. And on this one, I made sure I captured the yarn. So let me show you the difference there. So there's the yarn that I caught under the very first stitch. And after I brought it up and caught it under the first stitch, I let it hang and then completed my row, came back, did the yarn change, captured the next yarn. See, I captured the white in the red in the white, yada, yada. But as you see, it's on the inside. You can't see it so much, see, like that. And then you definitely can't really see it that way. Not enough. It's nothing that noticeable. So that was something that I just thought I would show you and bring up. That's why I took it off. On top of, I got a headache, so I figured I'd take off anything wrapping around my head that might give me more of a headache. So here are the two differences along the sides. Can you tell the differences? See? I think it's much cleaner, much neater. I like it much better. So anyway, so that was that. This was a finished object that I did complete, and like I said, did the tutorial for. Woohoo! So these are the only finished objects that I have, and I figured I will throw them into the story so we don't even have to discuss them later. Here, they're done, out of the way. Boop, gone. So on Monday, I had done the prototype, and I also had to go and mail out some packages. It was crazy. There was a lot of people at the post office. I had to actually wait outside because there was too many people in the line at the post office. I'm in a little town. I don't know. I guess everybody decided on Monday they needed to mail a package out, so whatever. So I'm standing outside in 97-degree heat. Oh my goodness, it's been so hot, like I said. So I got that mailed out, made it home. I should have, at that point, set up and started the tutorial. Now that I know I need to give myself a lot more time to do the filming of the tutorials, and I will be doing that from now on. Lesson learned. There you go. Always learn a lesson in something. 50 years old and I'm still learning something. So Tuesday I woke up, got all ready, and I started filming the tutorial. Thinking, like I said, that a few hours, maybe 3 hours max, and I should be done the filming portion, and then I could start, editing, uploading, and all that kind of fun stuff. And I figured, a little headband should go pretty quick. Funny. I swear it took me way too long. I think it took me almost 5 hours, although it was me also manipulating lights and trying to make sure my hands were right and, make sure my hands were in the right place and my work was underneath the camera. And there's a lot of things there's a lot of trickiness to that. And if you can do it like that and with no problems, I bow down to you if you can do that, because it seemed like it took me forever. I was like, the lighting, no, that's not right. Oh, move it this way. No, that's not right either. Move it this way. Oh, darn you lights. That's what I felt like. I got that up, and I was like, yay, all done. And then, while Tom had left the house to go do things, while I was doing all that, so he didn't disturb me, and he comes back and he says, I got a phone call. We have to go to wound care tomorrow. I'm like, oh, no, not doctors, not doctors. So usually I was like, all right, no worries, whatever. I'll still have time to get home and work on the blanket and stuff like that. So Wednesday morning we got up, got ready, went to the doctor's. I decided this time I'm not bringing work with me. I'm not going to bring, stuff for hat not hate. I don't bring the blanket because there's 3 yarns and 2 of them I'm always working with for the whole thing, and I'm not going to mess with that out in public, trying to juggle things around in a bag. It's too much of a pain in the butt. So the blanket, this gingham blanket, only gets worked on here in the house. So I was like, no, I'm not going to bring any hats or any kind of easy projects with me. We're going to go. We're usually pretty quick. And then we'll get home and I'll start working right away. Yeah, that'd be great. So, funny thing, like I said, every other time we're there, I'm lucky if I get maybe 2 rounds of a hat done, and then we're done. We're out. So I was like I said, didn't bring anything. Came in there, and it was one of those days that we sat in the waiting room, and we sat in the waiting room, and I was thinking to myself, you didn't bring any work with you. You probably could have darn near finished a hat by now. Oh, Lord. You know, when you think you've got things just right and it just doesn't work that way, that's exactly what happened to me on Wednesday. So then, when we were at the wound care, our regular primary care doctor's office called and said, doctor needs to see you. We need to go over some things. You know, you've been in the hospital, yada, yada. Okay, great. So we had to go yesterday, which was Thursday. We had a regular doctor's appointment. Now, mind you, just to let you know, I'm usually the one who drives. So 2 things that is happening every time I drive. 2 things. Number 1, wound care is almost an hour away. It's the same distance basically as the hospital he was at. Number 2, our regular primary care doctor is over an hour and a half away from our house. So you're talking about all that travel time, and that I can't do any crocheting or anything like that. And number 2, you can't do any crocheting even if I was the passenger in the truck, because our air conditioner is not working in the truck, and our truck literally for the last couple of days was reading 102 degrees. It was like it was like a sauna in the truck. I was just melting from head to toe. I had my hair pulled up. I was leaning forward because I just felt, ugh. It was so hot, and I was just praying that the lights would turn green as I approached them so I could keep going and keep the air moving in the truck. It's been hot. This is our first summer that our AC broke down during the winter time, and this is, our first summer without AC in a vehicle, and oh, it is rough. It is rough. So Wednesday and Thursday, travel time in the sun, in the heat. Yesterday, Thursday, when we went to see our primary care doctor, we got stuck in traffic on the way back because we didn't get done with the doctor until close to 5 o'clock in the evening. And it was just so busy in there. So me thinking ahead this time, I said, I am going to bring some yarn and a hook, and I'm going to make a hat for Hat Not Hate while I sit there. I might as well. At least I'll have something accomplished. So what happened? Get up to the upstairs. He's upstairs. Now, inside, when you first walk in, icy cold, beautiful. Okay, great. Get upstairs to his office, and for whatever reason, their air conditioning wasn't working well, and it was hot. And it was too hot, and you had to wear the mask. So I had a mask on, and I'm having from wearing the mask. I'm trying to work on the hat, and it's sticking to my fingers, and it was not working. So I'm going to show you my next whip that I was working on yesterday. So I have this blue, and this is one of the blue colors that I'm going to use in the last gingham blanket that I am hired to do. She wants one made for boy with blues and white. So I have plenty of this blue. I decided I will grab it, and this one is called Royal. It's I love this yarn by Hobby Lobby, and this one's called Royal, and I thought this would make a beautiful, rich, deep blue hat. And it's working up, but this is all I got done. So all my increases are done, and that's all I have to do now is go around and around until it's the size it needs to be and put the rim on it. No big deal, But that's all I got done yesterday. We got home at 8:30. I was so hot and that I had to take a shower right away, and then I got into a nice cool jammy nighty type thing just to cool down my body, and I sat there and I went, I gotta work on that blanket. So here is whip number 2. And this is the last whip I have to show you guys. So I have worked on it. Here, let me back up a little. I have worked on it pretty well. As you can see, we're moving along. I've got approximately more 6 more of these to do. These are 10 rows of the color repeats, so I have 6 more to do, and the blanket part will be done. Then I just have to do the border, and she wants a lacy type border. But it is really, you know what? When I did the pink gingham, I was not thrilled with it. I'll be honest with you. This one, I'm pretty thrilled with. I'm pretty stoked by the way it looks. I love the colors. What do you guys think? Pretty, huh? Yep. So that's all I've gotten done this week. And so we kind of did a mixture of finished objects, whips, and story time all in one. Don't forget that I am a part of the Christmas in July Fairies, and I will link the Christmas in July Fairies down below for the playlist so you can see all the people that are in it. That's all I'm basically going to say is just make sure if you want to get into my portion of the Christmas in July Fairies that you need to go to that particular video. You need to leave a comment, and you definitely need to be subscribed because I will be checking to see if you're a subscriber. And that giveaway ends on July 15th. I will be shutting it down July 15th at 12:01 a.m. And then, of course, your name at that point goes to Dana, and at that point, Dana will be handling the rest, and that drawing is July 25th. And if you are the grand prize winner, you know you're going to get all that wonderful love from all the creators that are taking part in this ginormous giveaway. So don't forget, leave your comments at that video. If you have some comments for me, leave it in this video. What are you guys working on? What's been going on with you guys? Did you like Tuesday's tutorial? Did it help? Some things that I will be working on for the future is I'm going to finish, of course, that hat not hate. Got to finish that gingham blanket. I'm looking for my pattern book. I've got to start on this blanket, but I am going to be starting on a tutorial, and I don't want to guarantee when it'll be out, probably a couple weeks. I am designing a light, comfortable shirt. It can be worn, basically the way I'm going to design it is it can be used as a shirt, or maybe you can even use it like as a beach cover-up or something like that. If you make it longer, you can make it like a beach cover-up or something like that. So, and what I plan on doing is this shirt is going to be made to fit me, and I'm like an extra large, a good extra large, not teenager extra large. I'm woman extra large. So I will be working on something that fits me, and I will give you information and kind of how you can modify the pattern to make it fit you. So that's what I plan on doing. So if you think that's a great idea, and if you're really interested, leave a comment for me. Let me know what you think. It's going to be beginner friendly. It's going to be an easy pattern to follow, and it's going to be easy to adjust the pattern. I already started writing it up, and hopefully everything works out. I've got to do at least one of the panels before I start working on the tutorial part to make sure it works out. Of course, that's how it goes. But let me know in the comment section if you'd be interested. And that would be released on a Tuesday, of course. And I will keep you up to date on that. So and then I have my charity stuff that I'm working on in the background, and so that's basically what's going on. And I have to get Tom's knitted hat completed. Hopefully I can get that darn hat done and off my needles, because it literally is still sitting in the same pile over here. It's sad. It's very sad, guys. And I do want to, after I get some of this stuff completed, I want to start working on a little bit of a knitted project for myself. It's time for me to do, well, I know this shirt's going to be for myself, so I can't complain about that. But anyway, that's it, guys. I think I've touched on everything. I hope so. I hope it's not one of those things I shut this off and go, oh, I forgot to say that. I'm really good at that. But did I tell you? I woke up this morning and on the news it was like news break, news break. Now you know how Florida's been opening up kind of too quickly in my eyes. You know what's happened? So they opened the bars, what, a couple weeks ago or something like that, and then all of a sudden they've put out this big thing. You can go to a bar, but they cannot sell alcohol. You cannot sell alcoholic beverages at the bar anymore. So I thought to myself, well, that's kind of if you're going to go to a bar, especially like a family local type, you know, your little corner bar that everybody hangs out with, you know, the Cheers bar, why would you even be open? So basically what we did is we have somebody that we know who owns a bar who's just like one of those little, you know, family corner bars that everybody goes to after work. And he's like, nope, we're not opening anymore. Some of the other clubs aren't, they closed down again. And the only thing that I guess that can be open, and I said, there's got to be a loophole to this. I said, call Applebee's, because Applebee's has a bar, but since everything opened, nobody was allowed to sit at the bar anyway. You had to sit at the designated tables. And I said, call them and see if you go in to order, like if you go in to order dinner or something, can you drink? And she goes, oh yeah, you come in and drink that. Now, what is the difference if like 3 or 4 of us got together, went to Applebee's, sat at a booth, and ordered a thing of nachos, but then sat there and got plastered? What was the difference between doing that and going to a bar and having a drink is beyond me. I'm not a drinker, and I don't care. It's just one of those things that went through my mind like, well, what was it? Why was this done? I was just curious. If anybody knows why they did that, I have no clue. Let me know in the comment section too below. I know, jumping off the rails has nothing to do with fiber, but I just thought I'd put that out there. Just kind of weird. What do you guys think about all this weird opening, closing thing? I think they opened here in Florida a little too quickly. I think they should have held out a little bit longer, but who am I? I don't know anything. I don't know. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and just do what makes you happy, but be really safe out there, guys. Take care, and I'll be here again on Tuesday for some kind of tip or something like that, because I'm not doing a tutorial this week. So just a heads up, it should be hopefully a quick one for Tuesday. So I love you guys so much, and I will be talking to you really, really soon. Bye.